Good evening, Speed Gaming. We have tonight the next match in the Crystalis Randomizer tournament. It is SirArchibald and Nightdew. And on commentary here, I'm the Axeman, and we also have Cross Product.
Hello. I cut you off already. This is going to be great. Yeah, I'm doing well. Hope everybody in chat's having a good evening or morning or late evening.
Whatever time it is. So this is the Crystalis Randomizer. There's been a bunch of changes recently. This is a very active development. As far as development of the randomizer, it's great. So we're going to be talking about a lot of the new changes. Cross product, you haven't been playing lately, but
no, I haven't played in a year, and I know how fast Steve and all the devs work on this randomizer. And
okay,
yeah,
we'll get you caught up. You know,
it's like, you know, you got to keep up on your fashion, and then a little faster than that, keep up on your social media, and then technology, and then Crystalis Randomizer is the most imperative to stay in step with.
All right,
so
I'm gonna let you.
Yeah, no idea. You can fill me in.
I'm gonna start the race here. I think we're all ready.
Yeah, the tracker looks familiar though. This, got swords and bows and
That's
bosses.
Right, yeah.
This looks doable.
Okay. So let's see. We're still on the layout. We're still on the layout of the pre-show layout. I don't know if there's anything that we need to change here.
I got it. There we go.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm gonna send them off then.
Good luck, runners.
So in Crystalis Randomizer, you start out coming out of the cryotube, and from that cryotube, well, you're the hero. I guess in the normal game, you're normally the hero, Semia, who has come out of this cryotube after being frozen for what, 100 years, 1,000 years? I think it's 100 years.
It depends if you read the manual or read the Japanese manual or read the game text. It all depends. Yeah, Semia is the Game Boy Advance name, right? That's the official name on GBA. I think the hero actually doesn't have an official name in the NES version. Or is Semia a fan name?
I'm not sure exactly where that came from.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, there's the main female protagonist who Naito is playing as a custom sprite. That's Misia. She has a name, given in the game in the manual. So, we or someone at SNK decided the hero's name was Semia, which was an anagram. We have Warp Boots already and a Medical Herb. That's a really good opening shot. I assume. I haven't played this game in a long time.
Okay. No,
I assume that's still good.
Yeah. No, it's still good to have Warp Boots and the Medical Herb. And the reason why the starting town is so important is because we can teleport back there with a secret key combination on our controller, A, B, and start, and that takes us. It always takes us back to the starting town. There goes the
secret.
I guess it used to be a secret.
The formerly secret controller.
It was formerly secret. Now it's revealed.
It's the wild warp shortcut, where but you can do it on one. Yeah, that's one of the really nice donkey.
The donkey.
Wow,
we have these awesome community names for everything now.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't know what key that is, right? That could be any of the three.
That's right. So we have 3 keys in this game.
And a mimic.
Oh, but the donkey chest was a regular chest. So we have a few flags here that are on question mark in a mystery status, and we don't know what state they're in when we start out. But
we have randomized walls.
Yes, so the walls are always randomized, and so we saw a wind or a water wall. So you need the Sword of Water, and you blow open this water wall.
It looks like Naitu's already banking on this being windmill key.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty not much else to do.
a pretty good assumption when you start off early.
When there's literally nothing else to do, yeah.
Yeah. So there is another exit through. There is another exit through the GBC.
Through the
cave
GBC,
that you
right?
can walk
Only
through,
one
yeah.
of them's blocked by that firewall. Okay.
Exactly. So there's two exits, but one of them's blocked by the firewall. And so yeah, we can't open that until we get the Sword of Water.
Right, and both of those
But,
exits are also randomized, right? One can go to Goa, one can go to Cordell Plains, one can go to the Bryn Mawr area, which I think might be Cordell
Exactly.
Plains.
So you always get two
the
different
Portoa, yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, and we don't know, we haven't seen either one. Both runners opted to leave out and use that key, which is, you know, a pretty good play.
Yeah, a couple items here.
Yes, so we got one item at the entrance here, which is change.
And change, which makes me think that, oop.
And then there's 3 items in the cave.
Get reset, get you unpoisoned. 3 items in the cave that aren't blocked behind walls.
That's right. Yeah.
So any
there
musical
are-
instrument, it can be any flute, right?
Exactly, yeah. So that could be any flute. It could be the alarm flute.
So it's shell flute, right? Because we got
flute, yeah.
changed, so we're heading to Goa. Where we're heading to? Maybe.
Actually, yeah. You know, it's at this point it's hard to say.
Well,
But
okay,
we got-
that
we
might
got-
be.
we got two
What that
different
might be.
Yeah, so we got 2 different flutes. I would bet one of them is going to be the alarm flute.
Yeah, Nightdew actually heading over to the left here in order to spawn the windmill guard, right? So
Yes.
Nightdew's thinking alarm flute as well.
We also got the Crystalis plant, so that's going to be a trade-in because of how the items are set up. There are kind of minimum depths for the items where they're.
That's an iron wall
and-
behind Zebu,
Yeah,
or is
an
that
iron wall behind
iron-
Zebu?
Ooh.
So the items are placed in a way that items that open up a lot of things are placed in further back checks that require like deeper routing.
So
And-
no longer will we have half of the seeds with Sphere 1 flight, is what you're telling me.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, flight in particular is like very far back.
Do
but
indeed
the
have an alarm
swords
flute and
also
getting
open
paralysis.
Oh, okay.
Swords,
So
go
I
on.
think that's everything we can get to without going through GBC Cave, which still, this was, you know, still overall probably the best routing. And we see both runners doing, like, I mean, they're basically following Arches right behind Nightdew on this. So yeah, we could see coming out in Portoa, we could see coming out in Goa, in Bryn Mawr, and, you know, we've got, if we come out in Goa, we can use change to get to Swan. Okay, it is Goa.
Ah, got it.
Yep. So,
So is statue glitch one of those question marks?
no, statue glitch is always available.
Okay.
So the question marks, the first one we saw is off, and that's the Oops All Mimics flag. So in the Oops All Mimics flag, if that one is on, then every treasure chest is a mimic.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
with
beat the mimic to get the real chest.
so we could actually see Kensu give of an item here, right? If he wants to curious a plant.
Exactly. Yep. So Kensu could want all of the trade-ins are randomized, that's for sure. So Kensu could want the Crystalis plant, and we'll be able to make that trade with paralysis here. Yep, and it is. Okay. So this is gonna be the
He
love
gave up
pin.
the love pin. Oh, he's breaking
Another
up with
trade-in.
Asina. No,
Okay.
she's supposed to break
Nightdew-
up with him.
But Nightdew's not checking this. He's got another flute. We know one of the flutes is the alarm
Oh.
flute, but the other flute, there's a pretty good chance it's our shell flute that can summon the dolphin. And there's no requirements besides just being access to the ocean to blow that shell flute and summon the dolphin. And I think Nightdew realized this. He's going back.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't sure if the vanilla dolphin requirements were on where he had to come out the other side and heal. And it is indeed a shell flute.
Okay.
And we have some sync going on here. That
Yeah.
slight misstep from Nightdew allowed Archibald to catch up. So which of our seeds are the fun question mark mystery
Okay.
flags?
So the other 2 question marks. Another one we won't find
The one
out
was the
until we have a
mimic.
sword. So there's a sword. There's a another flag that makes only charge shots effective. So your
Orb of
stabs
Wind?
from your sword don't do anything. You can only use charge shots. Now, if that happens to
what?
be on,
I pitched this to Matrick the other day. I said, well, how about a flag that makes your sword shorter?
Makes your sword shorter. Oh, great. So we got the orb. We didn't get the sword, right?
Right, I just saw the Orb of Wind.
Yeah, we don't. I guess we usually.
Oh, do we not track the sword unless they? Okay,
Yeah, we
I
can't
thought
really track the
I thought the
sword.
ball. Gotcha. I thought they were separate.
But we also got the tornado bracelet too, which is kind of awesome. So if we do find that wind sword, we'll have. But without the sword, the bracelet and the tornado bracelet is not useful. Arch.
Well, there's randomized turn-in, so there's a 25% chance it's useful, right?
Yeah. Okay, so Kensu, giving us a statue. Now, I don't believe Nightdew made that check. He didn't go. He didn't give the boat owner his. Not sure what
Oh, did he want the love pendant?
So
hey,
Archibald
Mimic.
getting something that Nightdew's not, and he found a. Oh,
Yeah.
and it's the statue for the sea.
Nice. A good heads-up play, returning back over here to put the statue on the altar and getting eyeglasses.
Eyeglasses.
Which
Okay,
is
so that's something we can use
they have the alarm
immediately.
flute. Like the
Yeah,
alarm
we have the
flute
alarm
is two
flute.
use, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
So they're going to be able to cash this in right away. And it is like we said, these trade-in checks often have good value. You know, if you're looking for a sword, especially, or flight, or magic, something like that, usually these trade-ins are where they're going to be. So
after this, we'll see 3 of the 4 Kensu given items. I guess after this.
Sometimes that's it. Sometimes Kensu has everything.
A sword of thunder.
Sword.
And do
Okay,
we
so
warp? We don't
finally
warp.
have
Okay.
a sword. Let's see where Archibald goes next. Okay, so the next question. So as I explained,
Oh, do we?
Question marks,
So maybe
like
we don't need the
no.
ball.
We don't need the ball to blow up the walls. So the walls
Okay.
we can get with just level 1 charge shots.
Yeah, good remembering the iron wall behind Zebu here. Say goodbye to your friends in Leaf.
That's right. Yep, they're gonna be. So it looks like we have the shots only flag is not on.
Okay.
Because if it was, we would have the ability to charge our sword while we're moving. So kind of in exchange
interesting.
for not being able to stab, what you get is being able to.
You just
charge
get to
your sword
pretend
while
you're the
moving.
task. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
The other nice thing is that our Thunder Sword is hurting these flail guys. These flail guys are super awesome.
Yeah. You love flail guys. So I guess we have randomized weaknesses then.
Yes, the weaknesses are
And
randomized.
then, so there's like basically 50-50 any given sword, because the green ones have two weaknesses, right? Okay.
Exactly, yeah. So the 2 swords will hurt them, and 2 swords will tink and not damage them.
Okay, we got the statue of gold check coming up for night 2. They'll be happy to find the eyeglasses or not. Who knows?
Yeah. So Nightdew went back. He checked a couple items in Goa area. Didn't look like he got anything for his troubles though. Looks like there was a mimic in Oasis Cave. I was totally not looking. I think he went to Sahara.
You can go to Sahara without flight?
Or no, not Sahara.
Okay.
Chiron. Actually,
Like, wow, this game has really changed.
Yeah, no, there's. So the other question mark is something that won't come up until much later, but it could be critical, and it could be something that makes a huge difference. on the timing here, and that's the story mode flag. We have a flag that's called story mode that requires you beating all of the bosses and picking up all the swords in order to spawn the final boss. And that flag is on a question mark, so you might be able to get to the end. You do have to have all 3 bows, but you may not have to beat all the bosses. Oh,
At what point?
Arch
At what point do you find
into
out? You kill Dragon, and then you have to hope you get the cutscene, and if not, you have to kill Dragon again. Is that how that works?
Oh, actually, so Dragon 2, you'll always be able to beat Dragon 1. So the Dragon 1 that's in the pyramid, you'll be able to get. It's the crypt in the back where the second Dragon, and he just won't spawn if you don't have the requirement.
Okay.
So you won't see him at all. And even if he does, you still have to have the Bow of Truth in order to reveal his true big dragon form.
We just don't know if the bosses and the 4 swords are required until they get to that point. Well, most of the bosses in this game have a good number of checks behind them, so...
Yes, so beating the bosses is actually one of those things that's going to become very interesting in conjunction with, like, our randomized weaknesses. We won't know, especially when we've only got 1 sword like we do now.
Oh, the power ring, that's huge.
Power ring is very nice. However, Arch, running around, he didn't bring any healing items, and there are some nasty enemies here.
I think he bought an herb. He bought an herb while he was in that place. No, he has an antidote.
He has an antidote.
Maybe. Oh, he might have used it on the dolphin?
He might, yeah. I don't think he would have used it on the dolphin. On the other hand, Nightdew going in and maybe coming out.
It's just paralysis city in here.
Sword so late, we actually we didn't have any money because we hadn't been killing anything to get money, and so they were kind of not able to gain money so that they could buy like healing items because we don't have a healing spell. In the normal game, you get the healing spell when you go into that first dungeon. But in the randomizer, we may not get that until the end, or never.
And then the more non-sword items you pick up, the stronger the enemies get. And you still can't kill them, and they just do more damage. But when you do get the sword, they're worth a good amount of money, so...
Yes. So you can see that DL number, so that on their status bar there, where it says DL, that's the difficulty level. So that's going to be kind of your kind of
February Boy informing us that Tower is on max scaling, so no matter how many items you pick up, the end game is going to be the max difficulty, which is 35?
I think it's more like 45.
65? Can we just make it 5? Oh, he does not like your tornado bracelet. He said go home with that.
Bow. Oh, huh. So that's a bow. We're not sure which one it is.
Wait.
It could be sun, moon.
Why are you home? They forgot to kidnap the shopkeepers. That's convenient. That's a nice change that I was not aware of.
I think this was a change at some point. The shopkeepers in Leaf, so even when the kidnapping has happened, the shopkeepers in Leaf are still there.
It makes the logic a little easier to write, I think, because sometimes... No, wait.
Yeah.
Are warp boots ever required? Or not, because we have the resets now?
That's right. You can reset, you can teleport. One thing that the warp boots can be hard required to do is if you have the charge only flag on, you'll need the warp boots in order to do the stomp fight. Which is it's a glitch.
That's amazing.
It becomes a required glitch, yeah. Okay, so Nightdew starting to catch up. He's going up Mount Saber West. Meanwhile, Arch grabbing that one chest on on Mount Hydra. I didn't see what it was.
Oh, the wizard, the Invisible Wizard.
Oh, no.
Behind the wall. No. I don't know how deep Nightdew was in.
He was in there. So this is like, when you die in this game, you lose all your progress before your last checkpoint. So whatever he got, all the experience that he picked up is all just poof.
Hmm.
And so that was a rough death.
Yeah, you'll see sometimes runners before they enter a cave or a mountain, they'll screen transition an extra time. That'll set their checkpoint closer to the mountain, but it doesn't, you know, obviously keep the progress from while they were on the mountain. Basically would have saved Nightdew the walk from Bryn Mawr to this mountain entrance.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's definitely a good idea to pick up some medical herbs. See, Arch is able to get these in the town.
Yeah, definitely wants to go back and pick up that power ring for Nightdew there. Oh, so tell me, oh Axeman, if I have the charge only flag and I get paralyzed, what is my fate?
You are not going to be able to shoot your sword. The paralyzed still has the same effect. So
these
if you have
invisos.
Oh, no. You know, this is why it's often a good idea to just take some extra time and grind up some gold and buy some medical herbs before you know, attempt some of these dungeons in the beginning here. Especially when you get a sword real late, because it increases your difficulty level, makes the enemies harder. But
yeah, this is his checkpoint setting for night.
Yeah,
he set the checkpoint. It's, the reason we call statue glitch.
That's right, yeah.
And using the paralysis strats to grind up here.
We don't have any other bows, so we knew that we didn't have the right one, but we do have the right sword to bash these walls here. So we're going to be able to get 3 items out of the waterfall cave here. We
have vanilla Gorgons in here, which is really nice. One of the things the season runners are aware of is which enemies give more efficient... And a vanilla Sword of Water?
Vanilla Sword of Water, yeah.
Okay. So one of the... That's pretty big. We can make bridges now. But yeah, one of the things that the season runners are aware of is which enemies give you the more efficient XP, like the tentacle monsters and the Gorgons. The Gorgons here are just huge XP to scaling ratio, right? Oh, that's good.
You have to be a little bit.
That's the best way to get. That's the best way to get petrified with your sword out.
Did Arch learn his lesson and buy some medical herbs?
Yeah, the spiders also are good, but the red ones can paralyze, so you gotta watch out for that.
What is Nightdew doing here? He made it. He's on the outside part of Saber West. Usually,
is this heading back to his debut?
But...
Oh.
Yeah,
just grinding, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
By the way, those Goros, not worth farming. They have way too much HP.
No.
And we didn't have the vanilla slime weaknesses, fortunately.
So Arch picking up all the treasure there. We did find a key, and we're not sure where that key's gonna go to.
Well,
but
there's only 2 left.
But that key does give us a draw for the key to Stixie, and because we have the Sword of Water, we would be able to get 3 items in the Cave of Stixie.
Stixie.
So let's see.
There's also the prison keys also left, but I think we're either going to need to see flight to go in the back door, or we're going to need telepathy and teleport.
Oh, but so with that Sword of Water, we have access to so many things. There's going to be something opening.
Heck, we can go into Goa if you want to tank the gargoyles.
And that's that's the
Oh,
other
speaking
thing
of Stixie, gargoyles exist.
That's right. Yeah, and there's not only do they exist, there's no logic in these flags about whether you can go through there or not. Sometimes, the easy mode is just to say that you only
They want a
you only
brilliant
get-
lamp. That's a glowing lamp?
Okay.
Or no, wait. Is it glowing?
That would be the fog lamp.
The fog lamp. The
vanilla
glowing
fog
lamp is
but-
the glowing lamp just gives you an item outright.
That's right.
No,
yeah.
no.
The glowing lamp.
The broken statue, right? The broken statue and the glowing lamp is a check.
Yes. And again, we don't know which lamp is which until we are able to use one of them.
Mm.
So we'll find two lamps that are both have weird names. So.
No, the Curissa plant wasn't randomized. Can the other trading items?
There's no other plants. There's no plants to There's no other plants to randomize.
But it didn't have a funny name.
We haven't thought of that. Let's put that in the suggestion box. What would you want to call the Crysta plant? Oh man, okay. Maybe we shouldn't go here because like most of these are probably not going to be. Yeah.
Oh,
okay, so
I just got it.
Arch is going down to the Valley of Rage. He's going to see if he can do this turn in here.
50-50? Nope.
Yeah, but unfortunately, neither of the swords that he has are rages. And what's he resetting here for?
Do we have the Are we doing rage skip? Is that still a thing?
Rage skip is not a thing anymore.
Ah. Well, even if Archibald did do rage skip, it's like one check at the throne or something. Oh wait, they already have throne room access. This rage. Oh, it would unlock. Okay, it would unlock the dolphin and the
exactly,
Asina.
Yeah.
And the hint to find out that your orb of wind or whatever is behind the raging whirlpools.
So we're seeing wind walls in the Crysta plant cave. So a sword that we don't have. Let's see. Did we go into the fog lamp cave? We didn't get any. I didn't see the walls.
I don't know which one switched.
Okay, the fog lamp cave is further north.
Okay.
The Crysta plant cave is the south one. That's the one that Arch was just in.
I thought that Arch had gone into the north cave.
Yeah, I thought so too. I did not remember seeing the walls though. So the other possibility here, since we have the shelf loot, we can go to Evil Spirit Island. And we don't have flight, but we have the water sword, so we can make the bridges in Evil Spirit Island. And if we have, if we're able to make the bridges, if we have the sword that can break the walls, then we can get everything on Evil Spirit Island and Severa's Fortress. Well,
wait, you can do Evil Spirit Island without flight? I thought flight was required for this.
Nope, not at all. In fact, with these flags, in the modern,
That was a joke.
oh, okay.
I've played the vanilla game.
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't know how to speedrun. Wait. There's a cave here? Like, I've only seen the speedrun. I didn't know about this cave. I've only seen the any percent.
No, you've got to watch my any percent glitchless speedrun. I've made a new category just so we can see this cave in the vanilla game.
Well, there's the 100% where you at least have to get Iron Necklace, I think. And we have Firewall here. We did have also the Firewall in the GBC cave. I don't know if we've gone behind there.
Have access to the other side of the GBC cave, but I'm not sure what we would get
that can lead to Pyramid, right?
It could lead to the Pyramid, but the only thing that we would be able to get without flight would be Deo. Which, sometimes that's a thing. Sometimes you have to go out of that exit and go to Sahara and get something from Deo. And that could be
telepathy required here, or that's a flag. Whether or not you need telepathy to talk to Deo.
That's right.
All right, here's I believe this is the fog lamp cave that Nightdew just entered. Right, it's the one with the longer path leading up to the.
No, this is the Crysta plant cave. This is the same one that Nightdew went into and bailed on. I think Arch is trying to kill this Mimic because he wants the gold. The gold that the Mimics drop is quite a bit. Oh, he also wanted to get to the other chest, which is a better shield. Very nice to have. Unfortunately, he's getting poisoned. Oh, and he had an antidote. Good. He's also got 2 opals, and you want to save those for, you know, your tougher boss fights if you can, but...
Tomato, too.
Yeah.
That's the only time I want to know.
Yeah.
That's true. There's
it avoids a few minutes of walking, you know, back around, then it's just as good.
Yeah, fortunately, we did add a warp point into Zombie Town, so we'll only have to do this escape once, even if Sabir is not beatable.
So we're seeing very similar routing between both of our runners, and Nightdew right behind.
Yeah, and definitely gotta hand it to Nightdew, not letting those deaths get to him. Looks like he shook it off, and he's just one cave behind.
Yep. It's, you know, definitely hard to kind of like stay focused, and, you know, especially when you die, and try not to let it get to you.
So tell me, with 2 swords, we're guaranteed able to defeat the vampire here in Siberia's Fortress, right?
So
okay.
This vampire, we call him Vampire 2. Vampire 2 is strong against 1 sword and weak against the rest. So since we have 2 swords, we're guaranteed that one of them will hurt him. Maybe both of them. Oh, this is gonna be a quality hellway here. So on the other side of this this pit with the moving platform is a treasure chest, and it could have something good. So, you know, since Rando being Rando, you can't just leave this sort of check, especially at this point when we need stuff. Like even if it's not something, even if it's not like a key item, it's could be pretty important.
Where are we? Go a fortress, the moths hovering over the platforms.
You know,
we have the Inviso jerks. A medical herb.
Well,
now you can heal yourself. You can heal yourself for the damage you took trying to get it. And your prize is having the enemies be stronger. But also the peace of mind knowing that you've checked that location. That's worth a lot.
So the medical herb won't increase your difficulty level because it's not a it has to be a unique item. So picking up a consumable won't increase that, won't give you that problem.
Is that also true for the Goa consumables?
What do you mean by the Goa
sacred shield and
the equipment?
you know,
I think the equipment counts.
Opal statue.
Yeah, I think the equipment does count for putting up your.
And then I think there's like a fruit of power from Siberia too, or something dumb.
No, just because it's a boss, I think it does have to be.
Speaking of the sacred shield, now we've modified this so that it protects against slime attacks. I think.
Yes.
Instead of paralysis. What
so
protects against paralysis?
EL didn't go up. It's still 18, so that Sacred Shield, yeah.
But there's 2 of those. Aren't there? No, maybe not. Maybe I just bought one. I don't remember. Alright, so we are going to see if we can defeat Siberia 1,
That's right.
And it's a level 1 sword either way, I think.
Yeah, not the toughest boss. You know,
power ring's good
fast. Here. And yeah, we have the power ring at level 1. The power ring. So with, one of the changes in the rando actually makes it so that your
doesn't matter
power level. Yep, and we don't have it. So your sword's power level changes with the charge level. So if you have the ball of the element and you're able to charge your sword to level 2, even if you're just stabbing, that attack power is higher.
Now I'm
So,
wondering how far
yeah.
up Hydra have we gone?
When we went to Hydra before, we didn't have that sort of water. So I don't. Neither
Oh,
runner has
so there's
gone
only the
anywhere.
one check, right?
That's right. Yeah, we were only able to look at that first chest. So now we can go to Chiron, which is going to be required because you need that to. Well, I guess it's not necessarily required, but it's a good play.
It's required
it's
if story mode's on.
Yes. So if you have story mode, you need it to trigger Mado. So in the plot of the game, this is sort of the rebel base, and we visit here, and then when we go to later on, we get a message saying, "Oh, the enemy's invading our rebel base." And
I'm sorry, I
they've
was just
killed
laughing at
everyone.
Akahana's
Golden
pink
terrorists.
pajamas.
Good. So the trigger here is getting that item from Zebu, or at least talking to him.
Right, and now when they enter Goa Fortress from the front, they've doomed everybody.
Yep.
Say hi to Stom. Alright, Nightdew taking out Vampire 2, and we'll soon find out that he can't defeat Siberia yet.
So on Mount Hydra here, we do have that key, right? Let's see if Arch checks that. We'll be interested to see if that key is the key to Styxy. If it is, there's 3 chests we can reach in Styxy.
Will every wall in Hydra be the same?
Yes, all of the walls in Hydra.
In both caves, okay.
Same, yeah. So even if we aren't able to break the walls, there is one chest on Mount Hydra that you're guaranteed to be able to get without going through a wall. So there's at the very least, we'll be able to get that. But that key is not that key. It is the prison key at the top of Mount Saber North. Because there's only 3 keys. We've already seen the windmill key, so.
I do want to call out, Nightdew has a little bit of a level advantage here.
That's right, yeah.
Which could allow him to close the gap over time. So we need a fire sword.
Wall. So that's a sword that wall that requires the fire sword to break on Mount Hydra here. But Arch coming to this other chest that we don't have to break any walls to reach this chest, so we'll be able to see what. And it's just a Lysis plant. Okay, but you know, it was definitely worth checking here, especially with that. Okay, so Arch so in order to trigger the Mado fight, first you have to go to Chiron, and then you have to come back here to Goa and approach the entrance with the Sword of Thunder. You have to have the Sword of Thunder, and that will trigger the massacre. I
think Archibald used his last warp boot, didn't he?
It looked like he did, yeah.
But he does have the option to wild warp back to Leaf and buy them there.
Yeah. Let's see if he checks this wall here. So these walls are all randomized, and we don't have any idea which. But he reset. That's not going to trigger. So when he reset.
Oh.
When he reset.
Yeah, no tomato. Hey, do you want to fight Mado with a level 1 sword? Come on.
Why not?
Mado 1,
there's
maybe.
There's no logic about that in these flags, so it could be required. Like that could. Be
I hate these flags.
And it's a really good play too, because that chest that Mado drops can often be something really good. And then after beating Mado, you have access to Brokahana in Goa.
Oh yeah, we have
changed. The vanilla warrior ring, right? And so that's another chest that can be.
Is that how that works now?
Yeah.
That's
yes, that's right.
I've played this game on and off for a couple of years, and I still remember the days when picking up Ivory statue was the trigger for that check.
Yeah. So yeah, it used to be getting this Ivory statue, but now it is defeating Mado 1.
So as soon as Akahana dies, you can con his friend into giving him his treasure. Okay.
No, as soon as you beat Mado 1.
You have to beat Mado 1.
You have to beat Mado 1, yes.
So it's not enough to kill off Akahana, you
It's
also
not-
have
yeah,
to
it's
avenge.
not
You have to
enough just
avenge
to do the
him
massacre.
and then steal his loot from his friend. Okay.
Yes, you have
Gotcha.
to avenge him first.
It makes more sense than the old trick.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm always paranoid when checking these Spitfire walls that I just didn't get close enough. Like, what if it is thunder, but I was just on the wrong pixel?
That's right, yeah. Okay, so we weren't able to blow that. There's a lot of stuff that we're not able to
We
do.
couldn't use Stixie. Oh, we
Yeah.
still have the, could it be Dio?
Let's see, did we pick up telepathy somewhere?
Nightdew did not.
Okay.
Hey, so you
if
turned
you
off
have
the logic for the
telepathy-
gargoyles. Did we also turn off the logic for Swamp?
Yeah. So I think it's gonna be Mato 1. I think that Arch needs to go back and maybe he knows that. Maybe he's getting his he doesn't want to give up his medical herbs.
Yeah, this
Maybe he
is
doesn't realize
definitely
Yeah.
a strat, opening up your warp menu and just kind of checking things off in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
mind. I like
We
this.
don't know. I think the way to go here is to beat Mato 1. And Arch is spacing a little here. Maybe
Well,
not?
yeah, because if we go through GBC, did we try
Oh, that's
turning into
true.
Love
That's a
Pendant
good one.
everywhere?
No, so there's nothing that could get us. If we can blow that wall and go through GBC cave, but
But where
there's
can it
nothing
lead?
to be able to get out of it.
Yeah.
And the reason is because
And we need telepathy
have
for
access to every
Stom,
area.
I believe.
Yeah, we have access to every area except for Sahara.
Or wait, we don't need
And-
we don't need telepathy. We need to go through the swamp to unlock Stom.
That's right. Did we
Yeah.
get? He's checking the. Okay.
Warp boot skip is on, or whatever.
Wait.
Teleport skip's on.
No way.
Is teleport skip
no
on?
way. He's gonna help.
Oh,
us.
I
Someone's gonna hell run.
got two whatchamacallits.
He's got 2 opals. He can. You know,
Oh, deleted
he's
that
gonna
medical
get
herb.
face planted. I mean, he'll make it. We don't have telepathy. The only thing he'll be able to get is he'll be able to go back and do the Stom fight.
He
Which
really
could
wants to
have
greet
something.
this, or he's out of herbs.
Is he gonna call this worth it? No, he's gonna. Oh, and he didn't.
Didn't save. Didn't set the checkpoint outside the swamp. Yeah, did Archibald simply forget about
I think
Mato?
so. I
I,
think he's
thought
supposed
Nightdew
to
was
be-
heading to Mato, but now it doesn't look like it.
No, looks like
I think he was just
go-
warping to
Go
Goa.
to the Oasis
to get
Cave
to-
first. I mean, so granted, there could be, you know, the Oasis Cave checks here. We've got two more chests you can get, and it could be something good. It could be a power up. It could be, you know, you could see
Archibald was
flight
already
or
in here.
something. Yeah, so Arch has already checked this. We're gonna be able to get 1 chest. I think it was a consumable or medical herb or something, and then we weren't able to blow the vanilla power ring wall. We weren't able to blow
And we
it.
don't have flight for the battle armor chest.
Exactly, yeah. So there's 1 more chest that you need flight to get. So
Yeah,
Arch
Archibald
is
knows that
committed to
he's
this.
got this. Yeah, as long as he doesn't run into that roly-poly, he's got it. Kind of. The first was just a test run to see if he had enough herbs, I guess.
so we don't have telepathy, so he's not going to be able to get the kid, which would require, you know, more hell running.
Thankfully. Nightdew refusing to
So
catch up.
yeah, I'm pretty sure that, you know, the progress has to be Mato 1 here. Either, you know, because once we beat Mato 1, we'll be able to do Stom, or to Brokahana as well. And Nightdew not spacing this, he triggered Mato 1.
Ooh, kept
and
Stom
he's gonna
alive.
Go take the fight. So,
Feeling good. I guess you can warp out if you can't. Okay, there we go. Vanilla
Yeah.
water weakness.
no, I mean, I think they went everywhere here. I think this is our last location. So Archibald is breaking logic here with that hell run. He may get something
pay off.
here, and this could be good, but I think Nightdew is, unless this is something amazing.
Imagine.
And it's a magic ring. No.
And
Okay, so Nightdew
he
now
went
definitely
flame
is in the
bracelet.
lead here. And if Arch can't figure this out, then he's in trouble.
Yeah, so we saw the hint that Tornell wants Flame Bracelet on Saber West as well. Although did he also tell us that when we went there?
Yeah, we did go up there, and we got to talk to him in person.
I didn't realize that he told you after the Stomp fight. That's good to know.
Okay, so wait, Nightdew picked up the Sword of Fire on
Sword
Neo.
of Fire. And this is gonna allow Windmill Cave.
That's right. Yeah, we saw the wall here. We saw
Mount Hydra
firewalls
too.
on Mount Hydra, and we're not sure, but it could be for the power ring. It could get us into Goa. So Nightdew now definitely in the lead with that.
Time to check all the walls, all the iron walls again. Hi, Fred. I mean, Bert.
Okay.
Is this Bert? Is Bert gonna respawn? Still gonna be.
He might.
Maybe set
No, I guess he wouldn't respawn. So the way the spawning works in this game is that some enemies spawn when you first enter a room, and other enemies spawn on a timer, but only when you're off screen. And if an enemy spawns as soon as you enter a room, they won't respawn. And so since Bert there is right by the door, he's not going to respawn. Okay, so Arch back on progress here.
I do want some of that sweet mimic money.
I don't think we got anything out of Windmill Cave there, but it's a few chests there that could have something that could be helpful. So not a bad move at all. We got the Sword of Fire. Now I didn't see if Nightdew actually checked Bro Kahana. Let's see if Arch does it. So it sounds like it's a little one-off check, but because it counts as a trade-in, it's often something that's good. It looks like Arch is going to do the same thing. He's going to go to Windmill Cave and clear the rest of the items there. So again, our runners, having the same ideas here, but now the lead is flipped and Nightdew is in charge. Oh, it looks like he spaced this. I'm pretty sure he went there before. This is the Carissa Plant Cave. He wanted to see if Rage wanted the Sword of Fire. So Rage wants one of your one of the swords he wants.
He just wants to see it. He doesn't.
Yeah, he just wants to see it.
He doesn't want to have it. He just wants to see it.
And we knew that it wasn't either of the first two swords, and so we're kind of wondering. That's what Nightdew wanted to know.
Everything all right for their X-Men? Yeah, so I guess Rage wants to see your Sword of Wind. And...
It's gotta be, yeah, because he didn't care about anything else, so... Okay, so we know that we can't get in any of the other caves. And so now the next thing we're gonna check is see if it opens up Goa here. And it does! Okay, so we've got access to the front of Goa. So this is potentially launching us into a huge... This could, potentially be the progress. Like, it could be required to just full clear this, and the only thing... And we need to actually, beat all this without flight, and with fairly low,
robots.
fairly minimal
That's
power
not
up here.
We have barrierless gargoyles into robots, into barrierless Kelby 2. With that, he's hopefully weak to fire.
We don't have refresh. We don't have any healing, except whatever medical herbs you can carry with you. And no, paralysis does not work on the robots. So you can see these flags we get longer races with these flags than with a lot of our other with our kind of our older tournament flags.
Yeah.
We're already at
12v2, weak to
47
fire.
minutes, and we've hardly beaten. We haven't beaten any major bosses. Oh wait, no, we did beat Mato 1, didn't we? Let's put that on.
You told me I'd be out of here in an hour.
Sorry to disappoint.
Now we do get a Web of Thunder. Ooh, nice. That's super good. But we do get a full heal after each of these bosses as well. Oh, that was that an opal statue?
Oh, and there goes our opal, and there's our stone.
Oh.
And that's a rough ordering too, because if he had been stone, well, I guess does the opal clear your stone? The opal statue clears some of your status. So if you trigger an opal statue, you can clear paralysis or poison. Okay, Arch coming up on Nightdew's tail here. Okay, so what are we seeing in the basement here? There are 5 chests in the basement, and one of them is the Sword of Wind. So there's our last sword. So now we can break any wall we see. We can beat any boss because we have all the swords.
And we have the key of C for STXY.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's both of the other 2 keys that we need. You know what else we don't have? We don't have any way to deal with the spikes. They have to man mode it through these spikes here. And you know, we also don't have any healing. So this is like a fairly hardcore mode here. You know, it may have been a good idea to trigger this checkpoint here and then pick up the rest of the things, but as it is, he's not going to be able to get through the statues to fight. Oh, we do have the opal. Okay, good. So we're going to be able to check that.
Banking on the vanilla 40 MP down the drain. Good damage boost through the. Do you have Sacred Shield anyway?
So he has the Sacred Shield on, right? Which
right.
Yeah. So the Sacred Shield blocks that anyway. Oh. Okay, Psycho Armor and Psycho Shield both on Carmine. So they aren't required, but it's going to make things a lot easier. For one thing, we don't have any other way to heal at this point. He popped his last opal and used all his medical herbs, but now he can stand and heal with, if he needs to heal, he can just stand in one place for a while. Arch is going back to, he's going back to Evil Spirit Island. He's gonna see if his Fire Sword will beat, he's gonna see if his Fire Sword will beat Sabera 1. I don't believe he went, he turned back. He didn't go into, Mato, he didn't go all the way into Carmine's floor. He beat Mato 2, but he didn't go down into Carmine's floor. So he didn't get the Sword of Wind. Oh no, he did, okay. So he's got all the swords. He's gonna be able to beat Sabera 1 here. I think he popped more opals than Nightdew did, and so he didn't have... But we might get something good here that's going to make it easier to get through the rest of Goa.
Clark Kent, you got the goods.
Let's see what we get from Clark. Magic. Okay, so nothing.
I mean,
nothing
it's one of the
good.
best consumable items in the game if you
I
have
mean,
better spells.
you would normally think of that way, but at this point, we don't have any healing we don't have any useful
Right.
magic. And so, like,
Mm.
it's just taking up space in our inventory that we need medical herbs. The only thing and we need a lot of medical herbs in our inventory in order to make it through these statues.
And someone just get flame bracelet?
Oh, like, was it on? Oh, was
Yeah,
it
maybe
on?
maybe Nightdew grabbed it in Sabira.
Oh. His art. He's like. Okay, so Nightdew going up against Sabera 2, and she's weak against the Sword of Thunder, which is pretty convenient because the Sword of Thunder's level 3 attack is the most useful. It's gonna absolutely rock her. Yeah.
Yeah, Sabira 2 being, I think, the boss with the most HP, if not close to it.
She has high HP and high defense, so she's just overall very tanky. So this is a pretty major divergence. Sir Archibald is going throughout the world. He picked up his swords and decided to nope out. He's going to kind of go forth throughout the world and pick up whatever he can, while Nightdew tries to take on the bosses in Goa. And for his
we don't know if the bosses in Goa are required or not.
That's right. And so because of that question mark, like, that could give Arch a huge advantage if he finds the bows here. Now, we also have to find Flight. Flight is 100% required in order to reach the end. But Arch is going to go
Flight's in the power ring room. Come on.
Oh, okay. Wait, okay, I was going to say, we've got all the swords. One of them's got to work.
And then there's going to be a bow in the battle armor chest. Yeah, that'll be nice.
Oh no! And so Archibald getting bodied by these enemies here. Not getting a very, friendly seed on enemies. And meanwhile, neither runner still has flight. They have to go on these platforms. We don't have flight, we don't have teleport, we don't have refresh. Not a particularly, as far as like convenience, not a very friendly seed. And Arch is trying to go into he's going up Mount Hydra. He's gonna try and get, there's 2 chests that he can get. He can't get to the top of Hydra without flight, but he can get 2 chests here. So this chest over here, we call it Gozen Ledge. We have a lot of spots.
Oh no, it's not good to have a location named after you in a randomizer. my boy Gozen, I'm sorry.
And it's an opal statue. And if... I mean, the way things are going, it looks like it's not going to last very long, but it would be really helpful if Arch could hold on to it, because he kind of needs the extra HP to make it through.
And that's the last opal statue in the game, right?
That's right, yeah, those opals, there's only 3 of them in the game. And so if Archibald pops it, that's going to be the last one. There won't be any others.
They're magic ring.
We have medical herbs.
Where's Flay? Is it Brokahana?
It could be. It could be. We haven't seen both runners spaced it. So we could have something big on Brokahana. Like, it could be Flight, and both runners spaced it. All they need to do is go straight to Goa.
Yeah, if story mode is off, and Nightdew just increasingly less likely Nightdew's going to find a hard required item in here, then, Archibald... It might, if he's playing a high-risk game right now.
Yeah.
Could actually
No, like,
be in it.
This is actually a fairly even match. I mean, for sure, if there's something important here, Nightdew has, you know, a huge advantage. But he is up against, so he has no healing, and he's up against Mato too. So like he's
the
done
easiest
an
boss in the
amazing
game.
job getting through here. But if he doesn't have a strong sword against Mato 2 here, like, yeah, this is gonna be a really tough fight. Oh, and it's okay. So it's wind. He's got a level 3 sword. He's got the power ring, but he doesn't have any healing. So this is gonna be pretty dicey. He's gonna get his HP back from his. So he's getting an HP recover from his Psycho armor. He has really strong armor. He leveled up to level 11. That's pretty good.
Oh, we've got the Brokahana check.
Arch is gonna check it.
Flight.
And it's rabbit boots.
That's kind of like a warrior ring.
Maybe. Okay, and Mato 2 gone.
All right, looks. Are we going into Oasis Cave? What? Nope. Okay, just kidding. Are we farming for money because we have 93 gold?
Yeah, it might be a good plan. Oh, and he popped his. Oh, yeah. We don't have enough money to even use the inn because the cost of the inn scales. Archibald might be a little bit tilted at this point.
But we still have both Portoa area caves. Not not the waterfall one, the Carissa
and the other thing is, since we have all 4 swords, well, we know that it's the Sword of Wind that Rage wants. So Rage is open for sure.
Yeah, funnily, Archibald's best bet in the race at this point is to just completely forsake Goa Fortress.
Yeah, he could hope that, and it turns out, well, let's see, Nightdew, did he beat all the bosses?
Mato, Siberia, Kelp. Yeah, he got all 4.
He beat them all. You know what Nightdew didn't check, though? He didn't check the
Siberia
very
1.
back item, because he didn't have any healing. And he didn't have any way to get across the maybe that was what he was
Oh, the
thinking.
one behind the lava pit?
Yeah,
oh.
the one that's across the pit. That would be kind of amazing if there was something there. Because it could happen.
That's why.
Oh, okay, so he reset because there was a glitch and Mato 2 left the area. We kind of missed that. We were watching on Brokahana because we were so hyped about that. But yeah, so Nightdew didn't actually beat Mato 2.
Oh.
So, and the other thing I noticed, Kensu, Slime Kensu, that's a warrior ring.
Warrior ring, that's nice.
Side, in the cave. So in the Foglamp cave is the warrior ring. That's going to make all the bosses a lot easier. Of course, Nightdew's already beaten most of them.
This is a huge check for SGLIVE. He needs this. That's another magic. Wait, there's still 2. When does Dolphin? Is it Dolphin and Asina or only Asina?
Both of them. So yeah, you can get Dolphin and Asina. So there's 2
That's
more
why
that
he has to farm money for medical herb to give the Dolphin.
That's true, yeah. And
he needs a
cheeseburger. Not
cheeseburger.
having any trouble. He's on level 12, and he's gonna keep gaining more levels. He's still got the warrior ring, which makes killing stuff pretty easy.
Yeah, all the comments about Archibald, still having a chance in this race if story mode is off. You also have to consider all the experience points and all the luxury items that Nightdew picked up by clearing that Goa. Level 12, now Warrior Ring, all the bracelets except Blizzard, which is, let's be real, the worst one.
Yeah. So the question...
I would love a weapon that draws enemies into me.
there was a question on what level you need to beat the game, and you can beat the game on any level, but because the tower has max scaling and the last robots are going to be really powerful, and you have to beat them. Like, there's a glitch that you can use to skip the second 2 floors of the tower, but that's been patched out, and so
you can do what
you
now?
have to beat all of the robots.
What's the any % world record now?
Oh, the 80% record
case.
is now like 52 minutes.
I remember when like Dragon Dart got sub-hour for the first time, and that was like a miracle. Like the strats that we had back then when Dragon Dart got the first sub-hour, like that was just the most insane,
it's
perfect
so much
run.
Easier. Even I have a sub-hour PB on the 80% run.
Maybe I'll start speedrunning Crystalis.
Yeah, the sub-hours isn't that hard right now, but it takes a little practice.
Yeah, Summoning Salt, get on the history of Crystalis world record runs.
Nightdew got his he got his rage check, and he's gonna go and do the Carissa plant cave, which I don't think Arch did. I think he went right after. And where is Flight? I'm gonna bet it's on Slime Kensu. Flight is on Slime Kensu, and the Dragon Dart statue that he wants is gonna be at, let's say, the Power Ring spot. What do you say, Cross Product?
What if, hear me out, instead of Flight being there, hazmat suits there. Archibald says nuts to that, and heck runs. But he'd also need to find telepathy, so... Yeah, did we? Oh, we didn't... No, no. No, wait a minute. I'm still Flight at Power Ring spot.
Flight at Power Ring spot?
Yeah, that... I'm sticking to that.
Okay. That's
Antidote at Athena, calling it now.
Let's see, have we seen the top of Mount Hydra?
Yes. Everything except for, obviously, the Bow of Moon spot.
Oh, that's right, yeah, because we don't have, and we only have one bow.
Yeah, remember, we've been in the Oasis Cave. I think we've double dipped at this point already.
Right. Okay,
the first time to find a mimic at the leather boots chest.
Nightdew remembered Brokahana, and he was disappointed. Arch, I'm surprised neither runner has realized that these magic rings are just not particularly usful.
Just hoarding them.
They need room for medical rooms, and they need room for warp boots. And having your inventory gummed up with five magic rings isn't particularly great. Okay, so Nightdew, he's gonna beat Sabera 1, which if story mode is on, it's required. And even if not, it's got two checks here.
Yeah. I mean, Nightdew's
Arch
leaning into the story mode.
Arch going into, I think,
the fog lamp
cave, so he can get his warrior ring and be real happy about that.
Yeah, they were both wind. Are they? Do they always match the Carissa and the fog lamp? Or
no, they're
both
random. They just everything happened to be wind, which is the last sword that you get.
Thanks, Fred.
Yeah, nobody's checked the power ring spot. I think both runners made it to the. Both runners went there before they had the sword that blew it up, and so they weren't able to break the wall. So both runners have gone to the wall, but weren't able to break it. So Arch not going after that mimic, that could help him a lot if he beat these mimics. You have to switch your sword sometimes. He needs the money, and you have to. Sometimes you have to switch your sword and sometimes you have to use a less powerful sword just because that'll hurt the enemies.
Didn't even pick up the money from that Gorgon. So we did get That other key was in the Carmine area, wasn't it?
That's right.
That's the key to Stixie. Nightdew's heading there now.
Okay. So wait. So Arch only has one key, and it's the key that we know
prison
isn't
key.
the key to Stixie. Yeah. Okay. So Nightdew's gonna go to Stixie. This could be big. This could be something. And it's something that Arch
remind me,
doesn't have.
teleport and Bunny Skipper off. So the key to prison is useless right now.
That's right, yeah. So, but
Okay.
teleport gets you into Saber North. So teleport gets you past the first barrier, and then you can use the rabbit. And unfortunately, Nightdew not having enough medical herbs, he's gonna sit and let the
Coffee break.
he's gonna let the psycho armor heal him and get through here. But yeah, Nightdew not realizing that having an inventory full of medical herbs or an inventory full of magic rings.
I have magic
is very
rings.
helpful. I've got all these magic rings. They're so great. So if you're not familiar, the magic rings refill your MP completely. So they're very good if you have a lot of magic, if you have a lot of spells that are useful. Now Arch, he's got to be going up. This has got to be a check for the
rabbit
bracelet
boots.
spot.
The rabbit
And this
boots.
is one that Nightdew
yeah.
hasn't done. So this is going to be a new info here. So both runners in places that the other runner hasn't checked.
We're gonna just stomp up the slope.
All right. And Nightdew checking my chest.
Oh no!
And it's a bow in my
that's
chest. Wow.
so now we have confirmation that go is required. That is a huge nail in Archibald's coffin, unfortunately.
Now we don't know that it's.
Unless he finds flight and can get it faster from the back.
No, he does have flight. He has flight.
Where'd he get that?
I think it had to have been in the first chest in Stixie, and that's the Carmine figurine. But yeah, so now he can go in the back door of Goa. Or he can do a lot
now
of
he
stuff with light.
no longer needs to worry about tanking the acid or the lava.
That's
Sorry,
right, yeah.
Super
he still
Metroid
doesn't have
player
any
here.
healing. He doesn't have any healing. He doesn't have teleport, and he has his inventory full of magic rings that are used. You know, he can keep flying.
They're useful now that he has flight.
I mean, a little bit.
I'd rather have refresh.
Yeah.
I mean, in as much as getting use out of my magic rings. All right, so I think the best case scenario for Archibald here is to find a bow, and then Nightdew not check it immediately, even though he's here right now. Never mind.
Oh no, yeah, it looks like. Well, let's see if Nightdew's probably gonna check it too.
Yeah, Saber North access from behind. Tornell's calling out. And don't forget, Dragon 1's usually a good check.
That's
a mimic?
True, yeah. And it's a mimic, okay. So, Arch not realizing he needs to go back into Goa. And he
Not the
needs to,
broken statue.
I mean, how far in was that key? It wasn't in Carmine's area. It was past
I thought it was in Carmine's area. It was like the bottom middle chest in Carmine's area.
Oh, okay.
I think. In the yeah. Well, I guess all the chests are in the basement. But
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know if Arch has realized. Maybe he is, because he loaded up on medical herbs. Because, like, you have to, like, the only way through here is to man mode it. Now, your level, you take less damage from these statues if you're on a higher level. So getting a higher level is also important when you're trying to, you know.
so they don't scale up. They don't scale up, but you do get defense.
They do scale up, but they also are affected by your defense. So they scale up with your difficulty level. So if you keep your difficulty level really low and you haven't found anything, then you might be able to walk right through. But
what if you soft locked yourself because you scaled up the gargoyles too far and there aren't any medical herbs in any shops?
You're guaranteed to have medical herbs at a shop that's accessible. So I believe the logic is pretty well written around that. Like, anything where you have to tank damage, you'll have a sword, and you'll have a shop that has a medical herb.
I see.
I'm not sure if we've seen the shield ring. Okay, so
don't worry, we'll find it
Go.
when it becomes the least useful item. That's how shield ring works.
So it looks like Mato2 did the same glitch before, where he ran off. Maybe Nightdew's on a funny emulator here or something?
Never seen that happen.
Yeah.
Definitely never seen it happen twice.
But this seed giving a pretty good idea of like what you're getting into with this flag set. Okay, so Nightdew got the job done, and there's
now
the
this is
on Mato
the
2.
rabbit boots are huge right now for Archibald. Yeah, Nightdew had to tank all this damage. So yeah, we got the key to Stixie for Archibald.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, so that's, you know, he may not realize it yet, but that's, you know, that was the main thing he needed. Okay, so Nightdew going up Saber North. I'm surprised he hasn't gone and checked, he hasn't gone to, the pyramid, and, the other thing is he could have gone in the back of Saber North. And it would have been faster, but this is fine, he'll get to the boss.
We need to find a use for these magic rings, so this'll do it.
I guess, yeah. Okay, Arch taking out Carmine. He's gonna get the Psycho Shield and the Psycho Armor. So that's gonna that's gonna make him a lot happier. He's got his key, and he's gonna nope out, and maybe he's gonna okay. So maybe he's gonna notice this and take his, because he's checked just about everywhere else. He had the swords before. So he's checked just about everything. I think he knows that he's got to go to Stixie. So he's going to get Flight, and he's going to get his other bow.
He's already dead. So now, if story mode is on, Nightdew's checked all the boxes.
Well,
Nightdew just needs a bow.
1.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he'll have beaten all the bosses. He's going to need to do Dragon 1 still. And we know that we need another bow, and we're not sure where it's going to be. It could be anywhere.
Could be in one of the
Iron
pyramids.
Necklace. Okay.
I take it back. Shield ring is never the most useless item in the game.
I mean, the iron necklace can actually be pretty useful. In my last race, so my first tournament race, we had to do a fairly low level fight against Mato2, and I had that iron necklace. I popped it on, and Mato was, you know, hardly able to touch me.
Okay. That's the one situation that I'm glad to
Yeah.
have iron necklace. This is Mato2, and I don't have warrior
Mato2
ring.
is gone now, so yeah. So Nightdew's checking all the items here.
Yeah, use the final opal statue and really behind in levels. And there's Flight.
Okay, but he did get his Flight.
Shortcut. Okay,
yeah,
so now we're gonna get a bow here.
No! Oh no, Arch! No! Don't forget it.
Did Arch just skip the SGLIVE chest? Oh no!
He spaced my chest, so this may become his chest now. He may have claimed my chest here.
Don't do it.
The other thing is that
Oh no!
Oh no! So the other thing here, and I think Nightdew skipped this too, they had flight, and they didn't go to the right side of Stixie.
Oh, true.
So there's 3 chests on the right side. So Arch spacing the bow that was in my spot, and the reason why that's in the axe spot is because I had a very high profile showcase of this randomizer, and there was a bow in that chest, just like in this seed, and I skipped it because I'd been doing the speed run, and in the speed run you don't get that chest. So Nightdew, so Arch, I think he's thinking about Saber North, but maybe not realizing or trying to remember how the trick to cross the water works. Meanwhile, Nightdew, he's gonna go into the desert. He's going to beat the pyramid probably and see, and then we'll find out what the end game here looks like. So, like we mentioned before,
I'm always a big fan of going into the crypt. It's 3 item checks, and you're triggering that warp point to Sahara that you'll want at the end of the game.
So there's only 2 items in the crypt, but like we said, that story mode flag is on a question mark, and so even if you don't have the last bow, well, at this point it doesn't matter. Yeah, there's only 2 chests in the crypt.
Dragon himself doesn't drop a chest?
Oh, you're talking about the pyramid.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah,
okay,
wherever Nightdew is. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the pyramid that Nightdew's in now, and so the pyramid has that 1 chest, and then there's an item on Dragon, and then an item on Azteca afterwards.
So Dragon gives you 2 items. Spoiler.
Now the other thing though is going to be in the crypt. And we have 2 bows, and those 2 bows could be... Well, Nightdew has 2 bows. Archibald does not. And those 2 bows could be the bow of Sun and Moon. And that was refreshed. We also got speed boots.
Okay, we got the crypto.
Yeah. So that's gonna... Yeah, Nightdew is... he's got to get this last bow somewhere. But Nightdew is clearly in the driver's seat here. The problem is we still don't have teleport.
Yeah, we cannot go into the crypt. We have Bow of Truth already.
All right. So what else do we have? I noticed Nightdew. He's got a lamp and he's got a statue. But I haven't seen if he tried combining the lamp and statue. Okay, it looks like Nightdew, he's either going to go to the top of Hydra, or he's going to get the rest of the chest in Stixie on the right side. Either way, not a bad play. Because the last item is the Bow of Moon, it is more likely to be on a trade-in spot. And now that we have refresh, it's going to be so much more convenient. Look at that. When you can just magically heal yourself.
No flight skip?
There's no flight skip. The flight skip has been patched out in these flags. Okay, there's another statue. Okay, and that lamp is apparently not the...
That's the lamp that the queen wants.
And there's telepathy. And the hazmat suit. Okay, so Nightdew's gonna be able to get everything in the swamp now. We've got more trade-ins. I think Nightdew needs to bring in all these trade-ins, and one of them is gonna give us our bow. Okay, so there's one. It was just a fruit of weapon, but we're remembering these trade-ins here. Oh, okay. So one of those statues, Code Gorilla pointing out that one of the things that's open is Blind Kensu. And I did say that Slime Kensu would have something.
Yeah, did we forget Queen Aurelius? Bye.
That's right, yeah, I don't think we've seen that trade-in.
Yeah, we got the hint that she wanted a lamp as well.
That's right, yeah, so it's gotta be that lamp. Or actually, we're not sure if it's... I think it's gonna be that lamp. Oh, no, it's gotta be that lamp. Oh, wait, no, okay. So it can't be that lamp.
How many
because
statues are there in this game?
Okay, so let me explain. When you use the trade-in item that... oh, no. So when you use the Arch not realizing that that flight skip is off.
You need to save the kid for... Oh. No, you don't. That's right, you can combo them.
The kid goes into your pocket. Oh, Arch realized it. He realized he skipped my chest. He's saving himself from having this chest be his now. I don't think it's going to be enough to win this race, unless he can find... Because he still needs to go back into Goa and beat the bosses.
Maybe.
That's true, yeah. But, I mean, Nightdew
is regaining some of this time back against Nightdew because Archibald's grabbing the right side immediately, and there was one good thing there, wasn't there? Or wasn't there? I thought... Yeah, refresh was there.
Did Nightdew die on the insect? Or did he teleported somewhere else after the insect and didn't go straight to...
I think he went straight to the insect and didn't pick up the kid.
Oh, okay. Okay, so let me explain about the item for Aurelius. If you use the item, the trade-in that she wants, and you're not changed in your changed form, there won't be any response. But Nightdew used the lamp that he had, and he got an no effect. And so that means that it's not that lamp. But he did get another lamp there, which has to be that one.
So we're missing the broken statue. We haven't found the broken statue yet.
Okay, so I think he realized that too. Oh, he forgot to put on his speed boots, though. Alright, so Arch, seeing that he's got two bows, he's gonna make the crypt dive too and get the bad news that he does not have both bow and moon.
The good news that he doesn't have to find an item in the crypt.
Okay, and Fruit of Power on Aurelius, not our answer today. So let's see. Earlier, I wrote down that Tornell wants the Flame Bracelet. And
Correct.
We have it. So if Nightdew wants to make that trade, and he could. Oh, but okay, so first he's gonna go to Stom. It's a good idea. So SGLIVE was able to do this earlier because he kind of did a sequence break and did a hell run in the swamp. So we know this is nothing, but Nightdew now getting it.
Yeah, so the bows have kind of funny names, so they actually don't have the bow of Sun and Moon, they have the bow of Moon and the bow of Truth, I think.
That's right. Actually, yeah, we should update that on our track here. So, yeah, okay, so we have the bow of Moon. There we go.
We'll give one of them the Sun and one of them the Moon. I don't remember which dog they killed. So we are going to Tornell now. Nightdew also has the Tornado Bracelet spot to check.
That's right. The Stomp fight tells you, but both runners actually already climbed the mountain and talked to Kensu directly, so we already had that info.
You mean Blue Kensu?
Hint. Yeah, or not Kensu, Stom, or Tornell.
Stom with hair.
One of those wise men. Okay, Arch running in to do the trade-in on Stoned Akahana. Meanwhile, Nightdew, he ran up and got the Tornado Bracelet spot, which didn't have anything, and it looks like he's gonna go make the trade-in on Tornell that we were talking about. Not realizing that he could fly up the mountain and get there a little faster.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so if you fly over the slope, you can kind of take a side entrance, and it's better if you still need to get the chest.
Right, there's a chest on the way.
Yeah, but in this case, we've got all the chests. We just need to go straight to Tornell here.
That's interesting.
All right, so will Tornell have our last bow?
Will it be in the vanilla bow spot?
That's right. That could be it. No,
barrier.
Barrier. That's pretty nice to have. I mean, again, we don't have teleport though. That's a big one. Okay.
All right. If the bow's on the roof. Okay. If the bow's on the roof, I had to make sure Dio didn't have it. If the bow's on the roof and story mode is off, Archibald's in the lead with 2 levels behind and fewer bracelets.
Yeah.
And no opal statues. But in the lead, if those two things are true. Why don't you check that mimic again, Archie?
Okay, so which
random bow.
Oh my gosh!
Okay,
wow.
and
okay,
Archibald's gonna stock
huge.
up, or
so what? Okay.
Oh,
Archibald? No, he needs more gold before he can buy it. He needs gold before he can buy the warp boots that he needs to go to the end.
Oh.
Okay, he needed to beat a couple enemies, get some gold. Now he can buy the warp boots.
And Naitu's on the way to grab that random bow.
Yeah.
Tell me
So
that one of the random names is Rainbow.
Okay. So Nightdew's on. Actually, no, but Nightdew didn't do the. He didn't do the side chest. He's gonna still check that first. That's gonna give. Well, I mean, this one's the only one out of the way, but that's still gonna give Arch some time here. This is gonna be a close race. The other thing. So,
if story mode's off, it's still.
That's true. Yeah. So.
Still the big if right now.
Because Arch has not beaten all the bosses in Goa. So if story mode is off, Arch is going to get some bad news here. Nightdew will not know it because he's already beaten all the bosses. So he'll never know whether story mode was on or off. I think Arch forgot to put his speed boots on. It's easy to forget when you're kind of when you're trying to think fast, but it's kind of important when it's.
Yeah, is shield ring on?
It's a good idea to always have those on when you're running through. I'm not sure if he's planning on getting another level. So he has the tornado bracelet, which is good. He doesn't have a really good way to beat Dragon 1. Now, if you're...
Well, the warrior ring will be good in the tower, at least.
But, yeah, it's not as good as what Nightdew's gonna have. He's got the flame bracelet. He's gonna wail right through the tower. And he's got barrier. Oh, he's got the storm bracelet. We didn't track that.
Okay.
So he's got the storm bracelet, and he's got a lot of magic rings.
Power ring. Level 12 is
he's got the power,
a little rough
so
here.
level 12, he's got
All
the
right,
power
so
ring.
here's the moment of truth.
And it is. Oh, wow. Okay, so significant development here. Arch is in the lead, and he's blowing up the tower.
He always
He's been
was.
trailing for a long time.
He
Oh,
was always in the
no.
lead. It was just confirmed
Okay.
it now.
Okay, confirm. Yeah. So he has no magic rings.
No barrier.
No magic rings. No barrier. So this is actually. I mean, he's in the lead here, but Nightdew is going to gain really fast. He only gets 2 shots on his Thunder here, and I don't think it's going to be enough to get the finish. Now, if he has, say...
Oh, there we go. Oh,
finish.
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that warrior ring's going to come up huge, but still a lot of damage from these tower robots. No barrier. Even Dinah's going to be a bit tricky without barrier.
If I was in this situation, I would switch to the tornado sword, to the tornado bracelet, because you only use about 10. And is he gonna realize it? Oh, he's going to switch to. Okay, he's gonna use the warrior ring.
I think it's 8 MP for.
So it's a really cheap. The Thunder bracelet uses 40, and the tornado only uses 8. So you can spam those out.
The Thunder bracelet uses 40, but requires you to have 41. Unless we fix that. Did we fix that?
No, I don't think it's fixed. Okay. So Arch,
Yeah, the Flame bracelet is going to come up huge in both the Dragon fight and the tower.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, okay, that is extremely fast Dragon 2 fight.
Yeah. I mean, level 14 makes it pretty fast. Okay, so Arch is going to make a good try of this, but he's going to run out of MP pretty fast if he's trying to use the Storm bracelet here. And he's not even catching all of them. He was trying to get all 6 robots in one shot, and it wasn't working that well.
He might want to...
So you can see Nightdew is going to, since he's got the power-ups here, he's going to... If Arch had all of those magic rings, he would have a pretty good shot here, but he didn't have them when he needed them, is the problem. Okay, so Arch going up to the 2nd floor here. Nightdew still clearing out the 1st floor.
The other thing I think Nightdew has the luxury of using Power Ring against these robots because he doesn't need to be conservative with the magic.
The Power Ring, I mean, not only does he have the Power Ring, he's got the MP to keep using his sword magic. I guess Arch not comfortable with the... I guess he's not comfortable with using... Okay, there he goes, the Tornado. The Tornado is really good, actually.
Yeah, that was a bad placement on that Iron Bird.
There's never really a good placement on those guys.
I mean, at least sometimes they come at you at a straight line. Oh, that was a good place for an Iron Bird. Right in the tornado. Yeah, gotta stay low to avoid the turret.
To the 3rd floor. Arch, and so now Nightdew is in the lead. He's on the 3rd floor of the tower, the 3rd and final floor. Arch still finishing up the 2nd.
Yeah, but for a few consumables.
And this tower can be tough sometimes, depending on what... We've got one more robot that got away. We'll take that down. Okay, and Nightdew is off to his final fight.
Hi, me. Oh, that looks really cool. That's way better than the stock sport sprite that you get in vanilla. I thought they got rid of the free spot.
It's only free if you have barrier. So if you have barrier,
Yeah, I thought the side, like the revenge beams, could still get you there.
No. If you're at the right spot and you have barrier, you're good. Yeah. And so that's gonna be GG's for Nightdew. He's gonna be our winner tonight.
Congratulations.
And Arch, right on his heels. Wow, what a race. And I've got to hand it to Arch for getting through the tower with no magic, and I guess he had refresh, but he didn't have any magic, and so just getting through there without any magic, that's pretty impressive. He's gonna break open the barrier, the side pods here, so that he gets a free shot onto. But he's got to get them down first.
And it looks like we're joined by tonight's winner, Nightdew. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
That was extremely close. So Archibald will be finishing this up as well. So we've got Nightdew with an official Arts Race Time GG time of 1 hour, 36 minutes, and 56 seconds. And Archibald finishing at 1:38:35. So a minute 39 is the difference.
Wow.
If my math is correct. And my name is Cross Product, so.
So I'd like to ask how I both glitched out of the chests on North Saber and Mado 2 glitched out of the thing twice.
That was pretty classic.
It's your lucky day.
Oh man, the first time I felt terrible because I'm like, wait, why didn't I not just reset? And just praying flight was not on Mado or the back chest, and thankfully Stixie granted that, but yeah.
This results screen is new. I like this. 119 checks to 67?
Oh, that
So
doesn't
you
seem
can
right.
see here, Arch was in the tower first, and so it was a you came up in the tower. So the thing is, Arch came into the tower, and when he went into his menu on Dragon 2, he realized that he did not have any magic rings or any way to restore his MP.
Yeah, I sold about like 50 of them, so that's probably my fault.
And so that ended up being the determining factor. I mean, what gave Arch a chance was that he got that last bow and went right into the crypt and realized that he didn't need to go back into Goa and finish off those last bosses.
Story mode wasn't on? Oh, great.
It was
No,
not. No.
It was not. I played so poorly throughout this entire seed that I just, as soon as I went into Goa and didn't have any healing to get the rest of the basement, I just had to abandon all hope, and I was just like, Hail Mary, Fat Flag, let's just look for bows, see if it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I knew I was either going to be just standing there whenever Dragon 2 either spawns or doesn't spawn. And it's just crazy that in this new flag set that you can play for that, even if you do have like a bad showing, that you can just switch off and go a completely different direction, and even like come within, what was it, like a minute or two?
Yeah, that was amazing.
It's just crazy. So, but good
It
game,
made for an
Nightdew.
exciting race tonight.
I can imagine y'all probably went all insane whenever Dragon actually spawned there, like I did. So.
And Arch, it looked like you realized afterwards that you almost took my spot there in Stixie.
I realized it. Well, actually, I didn't think about it until I went back in there because I realized I abandoned the whole right side, and then I was like, oh, I need to go over there and grab that. So that I would have definitely orphaned that spot if it wasn't for me clearing out or lacking the right side. So
okay, Nightdew also noped out without doing the right side. He did get that bow, but he didn't do the right side, and he came back later and did it.
So the funny story is, I thought I had absolutely no healing other than having to rely on Psycho Armor ticks to head up through that. And I don't know why I thought I would have to head through the gauntlet again to get to the other side. So that was my thoughts. I'm like, wait a minute, I cannot survive another run through this mess, not realizing that I did not have to run through that mess. And after that, Hydra was always in my mind, but I just kept finding little thing here, little thing there, or God, what was it? The little special, where was it? Telepathy and the hazmat like right next to each other. Oh no, that was in the other half of Stixie. So yeah, that led me on a fun chase. So.
Did you have a flute for the bug or no?
Oh yeah, I had all the flutes. Yeah, about the only things I was missing were the actual glowing lamp, as far as I could tell. Maybe that and the teleport spell. Yeah, I was really kind of feeling that at the end. I was really glad I kind of farmed a couple mimics earlier when I didn't have to, just so I could afford the sheer amount of warp boots I needed that seed.
Yeah. No one found teleport. It had to have been. It might have been in the crypt.
Yeah.
Either that or that chest I glitched out on Saber North.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened, but yeah, that's I broke the wall, and then all of a sudden I was off screen, moving the screen, and I had no idea where I was. I just had another set of warp boots to get out of it.
Wow. The other interesting goose chase was that Arch went ahead and did a hell run to get into Oak.
I forgot Mado.
Yeah, it looks like he had forgotten about access to Mado 1.
Yeah. Just poor execution. That's all I can say. Across the board by me.
So looking ahead to your next matches, Nightdew's win here has earned him a match against yours truly.
I don't suppose you'd stop me like 10 minutes, would you?
A little handicap, that'd be nice.
Oh. And Arch's next opponent will be my last opponent, Zero.
Okay. It's good to see Zero. See how he's doing. Yeah,
so, any more shout-outs from our runners here?
Just congrats to Nightdew. I mean, that was a good race. I didn't even think I was going to be in it that close, so, I mean, just making it a tight race was just a lot of fun, and I look forward to even more races in this flag set. I mean, it's just so much fun just being able to play for the win, even though you're behind. You know you're behind just because a bad play. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm sitting there at 45 plus scaling at that point, saying, "Where's the dot done?" I know I missed it. Then as soon as I saw the last bow on top of Hydra, because if I know me, I fade Hydra really long, I guess. But yeah, I was just sitting there like, he's got to be finished. He's got to be finished here, and I got a little lucky, I guess.
Awesome. Any last comments from Cross Product here?
No, just make sure you follow the runners, follow the commentators if you want. We have more speed gaming fun coming up. If you check out the schedule, there's a Super Metroid randomizer at 1:10 a.m. and at 12:10 a.m. Those times are Eastern, and 2:10. That's every hour. So yeah, get your popcorn and soda and whatever else you need to stay up till 3:30 in the morning to watch Super Metroid.
Now, as far as this tournament, excuse me, as far as this tournament, we don't have any more matches scheduled yet, but we do have 2 more first round matches between Steve Hacks and K-Foul, and then oh wait, no, we already. I guess there's only 1 more because we already did have Show and J-Ro.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 1 more first round match, and then we'll be starting the second round. But yeah, nothing is on the schedule yet.
Yeah, keep an eye out on the speed gaming schedule as well as the info. Also, feel free to join the Crystalis Randomizer Discord. That's the place to get your cool custom sprites. So if you like Tall Kirby, then you can find that and many other sprites. And if you just want more information, and by the way, guys, if this run looked too crazy, don't worry. Crystalis Randomizer is highly customizable to your skill level. You can set it up so that you're guaranteed better weapons for bosses. You can set it up so that medical herbs heal you more. You can set it up so that you can steal armor from the shops. Like, there are a ton of ways to fine-tune this to your liking and to your skill level. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop by the Discord server, and anybody in there would be happy to help get you set up and help answer any questions you might have.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, with that, I guess we can call it a day. Congratulations again, Nightdew, and we'll be meeting later. And and just a reminder, this is a double elimination tournament, so there will be another match for Arch 2, and and we'll get to those when the next round. Thanks for watching, everyone, and good night.